So if you're looking to take your AR45 and delete the fuel tank that goes right here so it can pull from a auxiliary fuel tank, say the same fuel tank your power washer pulls from, if you have a 8 gallon a minute power washer or something with a GX630 and up that pulls from an auxiliary tank, this is what you got to do. You got to get a top plate. You can order them off online. Many places sell them. A lot of mini bike websites sell them, and go-kart websites, because is what they do there. Then you get a pulse pump. You can get the whole kit with top plate, pulse pump, and fuel line, all for like 30 bucks. So don't let anybody sell you on some big expensive shit. And this is a real Honda pulse pump. I bought it separately. This was like $25. So you get top plate, take the tank off, mount the top plate, mount the pump to the top plate. You got to run this fuel line that says out, goes into the carburetor. This fuel line, there's a little arrow that'll say in, goes to your auxiliary tank. That's why it's not hooked up. And this fuel line, if you look, has a P on it for pulse. So you got to drill 5/16 hole on the top. You got to make sure you're going to get it right between there. And this might be too thin a hose for how hot this is going to be, so I'm going to change this. This is just so to show you guys. So you drill a hole off to the right side of the valve cover, 5/16 hole, and then you take a 1/8 drill tap, tap that hole out. Now you run a line up through there, around. I'm going to cut it shorter, like I said. It goes to your pulse. So when you start the motor, your valve cover with the pulse fitting creates a suction, which pulls, goes in there and returns, pulls fuel, now pushes fuel to your carburetor. Now you can run an auxiliary fuel tank on your AR45, so you don't have to use this little tiny guy and keep filling it up throughout the day. So if you're looking to make your AR45 be able to pull fuel from a tank, this is how you do it. Once again, order a top plate, order a pulse pump, or you can order a kit where all this comes together for about $35, but it will not be an actual Honda pulse pump. It'll be one that looks identical to it, but just not Honda. This is what they look like. Super simple. This, a top plate, 1/4-inch fuel line, and you gotta drill your own hole. Don't buy one of these online that says they have a pulse pump fitting, because I did that mistake, and it comes with the fitting right there. Boom. And you cannot run a fuel line on it, and it hits the bottom of your exhaust. So you have to squeeze it in between there and get a thicker line so it doesn't melt it. But people do it all the time. It's not going to affect it. Or I can reroute this line, heat it up, and get it around there. So that's what you do. And now your AR45 roof pump will be able to pull from a fuel tank. Top plate, pulse pump, fuel hose, 5/16 hole with a 1/8 NPT tap, and tap it out. Put your fitting in, run your fuel line, you're good to go. Thank you.